I think we are live. Welcome to the Night Owl Writers Room with Rich Hosick. That's me. And tonight I am setting up my book on Findaway Voices. Now, I set up an account there a while ago, maybe even years ago, and I haven't been there for a while, so I'm going to go ahead and check it out. Sign in. Yep, there it is. There's my sign in. Accept. Okay, my audiobooks. Okay, so I had started setting up this one there, but I didn't pull the trigger on it yet. So let's do a new project. Title of your project. All right. So this looks like it's going to be pretty straightforward. So let's see how this works. I'm going to do the Charlatans Conundrum and other bedtime stories for insomniacs. Why such a long title? Good question. So I like to put the bedtime for insomniacs on there because it brands the book. I like to put Charlatan's Conundrum because it gives it a title story, and the other title stories in the series are going to be the Time Traveler's Dilemma and the Narrator's Predicament. So it kind of like fits a theme here where you've got a noun, two nouns, possessive thing there, and you kind of like it feels like a series then instead of just a collection of short stories. All right, Celia, you're uploading human narration. Okay. Upload files MP3 or FLAC, 192 kilobits or higher, 44 kilohertz. Okay, chapter names will be sent to partners. Oh, you know what I forgot to do with my come back over here to bedtime stories, and then here on my audiobook on the MP3s, I always check them for ACX compliance, and I didn't do that last night when I did the new version of chapter 11, the time cop paradox. So the way I can do this is I just open this up in Audacity. So I'll just open the MP3 directly. There we go. I'm going to skip this one because I have had a problem with the updates on Audacity. I went back a couple versions and it's working the way I expect it to. So I'm going to hang out on this version for a while. All right, you can see it's selected here. And if I go to Analyze and ACX check, I got two of them there. I'll just take that one. It's probably going to tell me, yep, my peaks are too high. So I'm going to go ahead and run the limiter on that. So the limiter is going to make sure that nothing goes past minus 3 dB. And it does a soft limit. So it doesn't like just chop it off. It like kind of brings everything down inside of that. There you go. You saw those little peaks disappear. And now let's analyze it again. We should get 3 green check marks here. Yep, pass, pass, pass. Okay. So now I'm going to go ahead and export this again. Time Cop Paradox 3 in audiobooks MP3s, 4400, entire project export. File name already exists, and we're going to go ahead and remove that. So, like, I guess, well, I don't know. Maybe I'll have to check to see what happened with Book Funnel to see if they rejected it or not. Okay. So there we go. So I got that cleaned up. Save changes. No. Okay. All right. There we go. So I've got that. So I've got all of my segments here. Let me put it over here. Put this over here. There we go. Okay. Opening credits. Okay. Wow. They got the very specific things here. So here's my opening credits. front matter. If you're preceding the main text, let's just go ahead and put the greeting on there. That's the theme song. And the body matter is going to be heart of the book. So I'm going to go ahead and drag all these on there. So it's, yeah, 2 through there. Is that right? Your file type was incompatible. What do I have in here that's incompatible? MP3, MP3. Waves. Oh, okay. Is it going to dump all of those? Let's see what I got here. So the outro, I'm going to get rid of that. 3/20/19. Okay, it looks like everything is set there. And okay, heart of the book. So everything is in order. And it rejected all the ones I did here. So what's this? Add audio notes. Play. Replace audio. Download. Delete. Okay, I guess I can rename this here. Well, I guess I have to do that for each one here. So, and I had to do this with ACX too, because I want to rename all the chapters to be the names of the actual stories. So, oops, come back down here. So this will take a little while. All right. White. It's one of my first monster stories. I was trying to come up with a campfire story for that one. Um, that's one of the things I want to do is like a book of campfire stories. I've got one, and these are probably not going to be for the podcast because the one I'm working on now is a lot longer than 4,000 words, which is like my max for the podcast. So I try to keep the podcast stories around 3K, give it plus or minus. Interestingly, the other stories likes it around 2K, so they like shorter stories. But I like having the extra time to develop my story. Ingram number 3. This is going to take a while. Oops, keep jumping around here. There we go. I don't think they have the developers test this. The Haunting of Oscar Morgan. So this was actually the first short story I wrote years ago before the Austin Intelligence, before I started getting back into short stories. I've written a ton of short stories in college, and I dabbled a little bit, while I was in Hollywood and stuff. But when I decided I was going to, do the podcast and write short stories along with novels, um, there was a guy on Twitter who was Peter Talon, who was collecting stories, ghost stories, for an anthology. And I thought, oh, I can do that. And so I wrote The Haunting of Oscar Morgan, and he rejected it. And then I wrote The Austin Intelligence, and he bought that one. So that was my first short story sale, and since, gosh, for a long time. Last one I think was when I was in college, to be honest. Of course, I wasn't really in the market for short stories, so I wasn't really trying to sell them for a long time. I was busy writing TV shows, and then took a break from writing for a long time. Well, I didn't take a break. We were still working on stuff, but it wasn't as time as consuming. It was, spending most of my time being a dad. working and trying to fix up the house and all that kind of stuff. So life got the best of me, but now I'm back in it and having fun, having the time of my life. Actually, I got to say, I was just thinking about this the other day. How much you know, to see the podcast grow and to be out there and be selling my books to people and like getting reviews. I hit the 50 mark on my first book, Near Death, a little while ago, which is nice. Um, I heard that that's like some sort of magic number on Amazon to have 50 reviews, but I don't know if that's true. I just know that it's nice to have that many, and mostly good. I don't think I have any 1 stars. I don't think anyone has given me a 1 star review on any of my stuff yet. I'm sure it's inevitable. Everyone talks about it. People I know who are really good writers get 1 star reviews because people I either just they just don't get it or they want to knock you for some reason. They're competitive. Or I don't know what it is. All right. Oh, the new guy. We talked about this one the other night. New guy, interestingly enough, is about a bodyguard working for a billionaire who is running for president, and a sniper is going to take him out. Ah, keep doing it. It keeps jumping around on me here. There we go. Death and taxes. No theme. I don't need that. Okay. The Taking Tree. Again, The Taking Tree is, yes, it is a takeoff on the title of The Giving Tree. Because I hate that story. I hate it. I hate it. I hate it. I just think it's just the most disgusting. And the the kid just abuses that tree until it's dead, until it's a dead stump. How is that a good story? How does that like the lesson in it is just terrible. I you know the only thing I can think of is like as a parent, maybe he wrote it as a parent, realizing that he would do anything for his kid. But man, that's one ungrateful kid. All right, here. Oh, I'm done here. Tricked. Yeah, I like the one word titles. Those are fun. Maybe I'll just do an anthology of just one word titles. So Firefly actually was the inspiration for that one came from another writer on Twitter, Barbara Avon. She had said I think she had said that there was a firefly trapped in her room or something like that. And I go, "Ooh, there's a story." And so I wrote a story about it because it was actually I was looking for a story for an anthology that was had something to do with a world that was like very monochromatic, but like had a pop. There was one color, and so I wrote this story initially for that, where the color was yellow and the firefly's butt was yellow and the same color as a girl's hair, and the girl dies and she comes back as a firefly, and then later on I basically made the color aspect a little less important because I never actually sent it to that anthology, but there you go. Back matter is going to be outro. Oh, I think I want to change that too. I think I'm gonna. Well, I'll do that later. Ending credits. I don't think I have anything else there. I guess this is the ending credits. Let me get that out of here. Outro, ending credits. I guess I could put the my author stuff in there. Retail sample. Keep it between 1 and 5 minutes long. I don't have any stories that are 1 or 5 minutes long, and I'm trying to think of one that would. You know what I'll do? I'll just do the theme song, the greeting here for that. That's 1 minute. 48.26 seconds. Okay. So which one should I do? Which one starts off really well? Hmm. The gargoyles, bread, tricked, firefly, outro, charlatans conundrum. Well, let's do charlatans conundrum. Let's do that. So let's gonna come over here, and I'm gonna go ahead and open this with Audacity. So when you open an MP3, it basically creates a new project, but since I don't save the project, it's like sort of creating just a copy of it here. So it's basically importing it into a new project. It's not actually opening the MP3. All right, so let's play this for 5 minutes and see what I get.
The Charlatan's Conundrum.
Eeh, that's loud.
Prove that I'm a fake, said the man sitting across from me. We were in a booth at the diner where I frequently had
All right, let's see what we get minute 4
really
here.
brainstormed the trick the psychic was using in short order, and he even helped me stage some of my debunking videos. Why he was sitting across his formica-covered table imploring and employing me, it seemed, to prove somehow that he was just another magician was, to say the least, mind-boggling. Are you trying out a new bit for your act? I asked. Alex slumped back into the vinyl-covered bench on his side of the booth and sighed.
Sorry.
No, that's not it at all. He looked away and thought for a moment, scratching the side of his head with dirty fingernails. Then returned his gaze to me. I was hoping I wouldn't have to give you all the details, but perhaps I should start at the beginning. Always a good place to start, I said. As long as at the end you don't think I'm crazy, he replied. Now I was curious.
Okay, right there. He replied. So I'm right there at the 5 minute mark. Yeah, I want to keep it under 5 minutes. So I'll go ahead and cut it off right here. Cut off the end. There we go.
The Charlatan's Conundrum.
Okay, good. Yeah, using the title story makes sense. All right, so let's go ahead and file, export audio. And so this one is going to be file 29, I think. Sample, export. I'll bring it back down. There's the sample. All right, perfect. There we go. All right, back matter. I guess I should put the about the author on the back matter. So I'll go ahead and record that later and get that set up. All right, let's see what else we have to do here. Findaway Voices will publish book in the order you arrange here. Okay. So the other thing I forgot here is I forgot to say narrated by Rich Hosek. So I need to go back and do that. So those are two things I meant to do like last week and I did not do. So let me make a note. That and then also on the end and credits, I want to make a plea for reviews too. So I'll see if I can do that. All right, but I think I got this here. Let's see. We got submit audio files, confirm chapter names. Yeah, I want to change this over. Let's look at that. Return to edit chapter name. So here, greeting. Can't sleep. So that's cool. That's the theme song here actually.
Can't sleep?
All right, so that's the theme. So that's cool. Let's go ahead and submit audio files. Pink credits, can't sleep. Charlatan's Conundrum, all the way down to Firefly, ending credits and retail sample. Confirm chapter names. will be sent to partners. Okay, so I'm not going to add any chapter names. I take it back. I am going to. God, I don't want to send this up yet, do I? I want to do those recordings, but I can't do that right now. As I pointed out to you guys before, when I'm recording the podcast, I can't record a new audio track. So if I do that, I'm going to show you what happens here. Testing 1, 2, 3. You see how low the levels are? Normally, I want to get it up there in a higher range, but since it's sort of like attenuating my voice for Rumble, Rumble is taking control of the volume. It's not doing what I want it to do. So I can't record on the same computer that I'm streaming to Rumble with. I think I have a solution to that where I'm going to have two computers going at the same time, but that's probably going to have to wait till I set up my studio. So right now I'm in my home office. It's a mess. Pardon my mess, but I've got that going for me. So I'm not going to stop the stream and do that right now. So maybe I'll do it right after this. All right. So I've got this going here. Review and submit. You know what? Let's go ahead and do it. View chapter names. Confirm chapter names. All right, here we go. Let's go ahead and set this stuff up here. Image. Edit that. Cover art. There we go. The cover art is going to be in the file. I really need to move this. This should not be here. I should put this in my other section, but I haven't done that yet. Where is the Charlatan's Conundrum audiobook? There it is. Ah, might not be larger than 300,000 pixels wide. Okay, so let's go find that real quick here. Volume 1. Cover. Go in here. Okay, so I've got this resizing utility here. Let's see if that'll work. Resize with image resizer. There we go. Custom, and we're going to go 3000 by 3000. Okay. Resize. And so that's going to make a copy of my file with the correct width here. Let's see if I can drop it in there. All right, there we go. Successfully updated. All right, there's no subtitle. Is this part of a series? Yes. Series name. Bedtime Stories for Insomniacs. Book number in series, it's book 1. Description. All right, so the description I'm just going to grab over here from my Kindle desktop here. So let me grab this stuff here. So I come here to edit paperback details. And here it is. Copy that. Paste it there. Okay. What do all these stories have in common? They come from the award-winning fiction podcast. Publisher. Nifty Press. That's the boutique press that I am partners with Arnold Rudnick, and I think Lloyd is, I guess, technically part of it since all of our Rainy and Day books are there. Rich Hosek. Okay. Click add. There's my author and narrator. There we go. Supplemental material. I don't have any supplemental material. I'll save that. Okay. All right. Abridgment, unabridged language. Not set. Let's edit all this stuff here. Unabridged language. We're going to go with English. Keywords. Guidelines for using keywords. Let's see what they have to say about this. So keywords are a great way to add additional information for listeners to search. Some examples would be tone, setting, or alternate spellings. Tropes, other information regarding a title help potential listeners. So 500 characters, including commas and spaces, represent the most common ones first. Accurate and relevant. You're not including metadata such as genre description, not temporary state, such as new limited time. Not reference price. Do not include special characters. Do not include in the metadata such as genre or description. All right, so I'm going to do, since this is kind of like an anthology, I'm going to do Twilight Zone. Do that as a keyword. What are some other good anthologies? Little Black Mirror. Um, Any suggestions here, guys? What would be a good thing? I can't think of any. Okay. Oh, awards. There we go. Awards. Your book is won. 2023 Best Fiction Podcast. Ad. Okay. Save that. ISBN information. After publishing, your ISBN update. So this one's interesting because you don't need an ISBN for an audiobook. Let's read this real quick. See what they say about this. Can I submit an ebook even if I don't have an ebook version? Oh, yes. The only exception to this is Audible, as they require an ebook copy available on Amazon or order. So I'm not going to be distributing through Audible since I'm doing Audible directly, so that's okay. Can I use my ebook or print ISBN for the audiobook version? No. Paperback CD. All right. Should I guidelines for using keywords? What if I don't have my own ISBN? For audiobook at no cost to you, publish. You'd like to take advantage of this instead of writing, simply leave the retail and okay. There you go. So I leave them blank and then they'll take care of that for me. Good to know. So I'm not going to use one of our ISBNs for that. I'll save that for the print editions. All right, important dates. Street date. Release date. So the release date on this was September 7th. Is this audiobook? No, it has not. Street date. What's this? Okay. This was September. Oh. Can be made available. Interesting. Okay. Well, we'll do the 21st. Oops. Save that. Set price. Okay. We pay based on the list price sales through our distributor partners. Remember, the retailer does not get to choose the final price to the consumer, but this won't affect your payout for most partners. Library list price. SLP of $15 and under equals 99 cents. Jeez. Really? Only 99 cents royalty on a $15 audiobook? Boy, they are greedy. They are really greedy. All right. So Suggested library price. So the library price, and I wish I could talk to Jody about this right now because I'd like to ask him what he sets his for. Let's see here, cost per checkout price. Let's edit this. See what it says. Oh, okay, suggested pricing. What is this all about? Add a primary bisect for more accurate price descriptions. What's a primary bisect? Primary bisect. Did I miss that somewhere? Yes. Let me cancel this and add a bisect. What's a bisect? We're going to find out. Here we go. Edit. Classification. All right. Fiction or nonfiction? This is fiction. Age level. Go 18 plus on that. Oh, it's weird because like on Amazon, they give you a minimum and then a max. So I'll just go 18 plus. Primary bisect. Anthology. All right, let's do science fiction. Collections and anthologies. There we go. And we'll do fantasy. Fantasy collections and anthologies. Okay. Mystery collections and anthologies. Horror. Well, I have collections here for horror. Fiction horror. Monster. Let's see if they have monster. Nope. There's the young adult. I want to categorize it as young adult. All right, so I got mystery. What about suspense? Sounds good. All right, we'll save that. Okay, now let's go to this one and see what the price comes out to. 10.4 and went up. Look at that. So adjust price based on the length of your audiobook and your primary bisect. So retail price and the library list price. So they are going for the $25.99. So I'm going to do that. So I get the full $3 royalty here. And here, since I'm selling the audiobook for $9.99, $10, I'm going to go $9.99 here. It's only 46 cents less than what we got there. Add launch pricing. Sure, why not? Let's do $4.99 for launch price and set your library launch price at $19.99. Why not? Give them a deal. They buy it, we get it. Launch price end date is going to be Halloween. Okay. Do additional promos later. All right, that's fun. I don't know. I'm just kind of making this stuff up as I go here. This is quite different from Audible ACX. And ACX, they really sort of take over all of that stuff. You don't get to set pricing; they set the pricing. So that's basically there. All right, get everything set here. Okay. ISBNs aren't set. Oh, copyright. Let's do this. into this section here. Source copyright year. I guess it's going to be 2024 as well. Chosick, audio copyright. Chosick, okay. Save that. Okay, I think we got everything done here. Review and submit. So I get a chance to review it. Review your audiobook. No subtitle. I thought about doing that as a subtitle, but I want to have it as a title because I want people to be able to just see that that's the title. All right, we got here all this stuff going on. All right, confirm distribution option. So this is the other thing here. So I don't want to do Audible and Apple. So up here where it says Apple, nope. Audible, nope. Oh, okay, look at that. So I can still do Apple. I just can't do Amazon. What it says here. Subject to the standard ACX terms, exclusive rights to distribute title for a minimum of 7 years. So that's the big thing there, is that they lock you up for 7 years. So this is cool. This is like all the places now that your audiobook will be available through Findaway Voices, including Spotify. So Spotify now owns them. And the downside for that is that it won't be sent to Audible. That's right. Confirm selections. Okay. What was I saying here? All right, so we got that. Review your audiobook. Okay, distributing to. Okay, good. So I'm not going to hit submit for publishing yet because I want to go back and fix those stories here. Redemption codes. You can generate redemption codes after it's done, but I don't need to do that because I've got my book funnel for if I want to give it away, which I'm going to be doing. So I've got that going there. So that's good. All right, cool. All right, so I've got that one there. Let's go back to audiobooks. Okay, in progress. I guess I could finish the metadata for this one since I'm gonna do these ones anyway. I do want to re-record this one though. So that this is Near Death is the first full-length audiobook I did. And it's okay, but the quality is a little bit off from what I did before. It was on a different microphone. And so I kind of wasn't happy with that. Let's see. Let's start another new project because I've got Afterlife and then the other one too. So let's go ahead and set that up. Afterlife. Again. All right. So might as well go ahead and do this since we're doing the Findaway Voices thing. See, here's the thing about Findaway Voices that sucks now. It used to be that you could put yourself up there as a narrator, and then book authors and narrators could find themselves on Findaway Voices, and they would collect the royalties and split them up between the author and the narrator. So you could do a thing where you would not charge any upfront prices for the narrator, and you would get that. Now on ACX, They have that where you can hire a narrator, but you can't really negotiate the terms. At least not that I saw. You basically hire the narrator, they get a certain percentage. Um, I think up to a certain number. Because I think after a certain point, then the audiobook narrator is not going to get more unless they have a special agreement to do so. I don't know. Anyway, it kind of sucks that they cut that out because it used to be that you could log in as an author or a narrator and have that done. Now it's all just author. So this is going to go to Spotify too. So I'm going to have this book on Spotify. It's curious to see how that works out. See if anything comes through. But that's one of the things I need to do is get these audiobooks going here. But I think Afterlife is ready to go. Let's go ahead and set that one up. Yeah. All right. Let's come here to find Afterlife. And day. Afterlife. Audio. ACX files. There they are. Okay. So here's opening credits. Here is front matter. I don't have any front matter other than that. Body matter. We're going to go through prologue all the way down here to chapter epilogue. Nice having a gigabit Ethernet connection to upload this stuff. Downside is I'm going to have to rename all these chapters. 63 of them. Why is that not in order? This one should be the last one. Okay. All right, so there's all that. And then now this one I do have back matter on. I've got the afterword and the author's note, acknowledgments. After, let's do these in the right order too. And then end credits. And then the retail sample. Okay, good. That's a good retail sample length. All right, so I've got all that in there. Now I just need to go back and rename all this stuff. So this is going to be, oh God. All right. Let's see here. So this is going to be prologue. And on these books, I like to spell out the numbers, the names of the chapters, convert the numbers to English words. So this is going to take me a while. this is one of those podcasts that's like watching paint dry here. Sorry about that. But I might as well get this done while I'm here, right? I haven't really put anything live on Findaway Voices, so it'll be nice to have something live on there. But I do need to get Near Death up there too because it's the first book in this series. So, let's see here. Chapter 5. So it takes 2 clicks. Okay, so if I If I do 2 clicks in there, it won't jump. Tab, click, click. C7, tab. Ooh, that's a good hack there. Cursor there. Capital C. Oops. Capital 9. And this one I'll probably want to re-record too after I do the other one. I'm thinking just because I'm better at it. I mean, that's really the only reason. And Lloyd was telling me that his mother was complaining. Lloyd's my co-author on this. That his mother was complaining that I was talking too fast too. So this book should probably actually be probably an hour longer than it is because I'm just talking very fast. I think this one is like 90K words, 90,000 words long. So it's pretty long. Chapter 15. Chapter 16. Chapter 17. Chapter 18. Chapter 19. Chapter 20. I can just feel people tuning out or fast forward. Feel free to fast forward through this. Feel free. I will not be offended if you fast forward here. I may keep talking about stuff, but if you want to fast forward through this is just me editing my chapter title names here. So it's gonna get sent to all of those partners. A lot of names here. When I outline this, I do each chapter, and I shoot for like about 50 chapters in a mystery like this. I find that that's a good length and about, gives me, 1.5 to 2K per chapter. When I did Near Death, I had, I think, about 111 chapters. Um, really short. Some of them are only a paragraph long. And those are intentionally short because in the thriller genre, I like the feeling of writing one in present tense. So if you read my book, that you will find that it is present tense. This one is in first person too. First person present tense, and then I like to do very very short chapters. So sometimes I don't split up stuff that feels like it should be in another chapter, but sometimes I do. It's really kind of a feel. There's one scene in there where they're going to kill a guy. I'm not giving it away because the whole book is about two parents killing child killers. So not a spoiler for me to say that they go kill a guy, and they're killing him. And as it's happening, it's told from his point of view, and he gets knocked unconscious. And so, like the next chapter, he comes to briefly, and then lapses back in unconsciousness. So it's a very short chapter. And then when he comes to again, he's like, really out of it and so forth. So it's I enjoy writing that one. That was a lot of fun to write because first of all, writing first person, especially for a thriller like that, where it's something really intense, really, I think, brought a lot out of me. As I mentioned in the author's note on that, that was inspired by a nightmare I had with my a nightmare that my son had been killed by a guy, drunk driver, a car accident. And the guy, I don't even know if he was put on trial or anything, but my ex-wife and I decided we were going to kill him. And it was just like, yeah, we're going to do that. And when I woke up, it took me a long time to really shake the feeling that it hadn't happened. My son was not staying with me that night, and I was just freaking out for a little bit there. And then I just was able to convince myself that no, it was just a dream, just a dream, relax. But I also knew then that I have to, this is a book. It almost came to me almost fully formed at that moment. Okay, there's a couple, they're going to do this. And then it started evolving. And then they're going to join a support group and they're going to kill it. It just, all of it really kind of came together in my head almost instantly. But when I started writing it, and when I wrote it too, like the first, like I want to say 85% of it, just, man, it just gushed. You know how it gets there when you just are like are writing and you just like you can't stop. You like you hate taking a break. You hate going to sleep because it's like, I got this. This is coming out. And I got to like 85% there, right? Towards the end, I'm like going, wait a minute. Did I take a wrong turn here? What's going on here? How am I going to end this? I knew how I wanted to end this. I just didn't know how to get to the ending. How am I going to get there? And so I just put it aside for a while. And I had a friend of mine read the first part, and she gave me some notes on the beginning, because the beginning I had tried to do something really clever, which was always a mistake. And I fixed that. And then finished eventually then I just let the characters talk to me. And I asked one of the characters why he was there, because in the support group, so that they go to a support group for parents who have lost their children, there's this old guy called Old Harold, and I just put him in there just as kind of like background. He was just scenery. It really wasn't a second thought, to be honest with you. But when I got there, um, after I read it, whoops, let me fix this one still. Uh, After I read it, after I put it aside for a while, I reread it, and I go, "Who is Harold? Who are you?" And then he told me, and I knew how the story was going to get to the ending then. And the last part really kind of like became, okay, I know what I need to do with this. And again, it gushed. So like gushed a lot, long break, and then final gush, and then just months of just like tweaking and stuff like that. And even after that, recently, after I put it on the podcast, I was listening to it and I had two chapters in there where they spend time acquiring and attaching this GPS tracker to the guy's car. And in the book, I actually say, we really didn't learn anything from this. It was just a way to pass the time. I'm like, going, then why is it in the freaking book? So I took those two chapters out. So the current print edition is two chapters shorter than the audio version that you'll hear on the podcast. So that's another reason why I have to re-record that one before I put that out on Audible. But I got to get that one out too. I mean, I got a big backlog on audiobooks here. And also, I definitely want to do uh, Barbara Avon's All Eyes Motel sequel, since I did the first one. And she's one of the ones that I'm doing for free. Her books are really short. They're so it's like it's a great chance for me to sort of like get into that horror narrator. In my horror narrator voice, it's funny to talk about, like, I've got all these voices, like, who am I? It's like, no, I'm just a guy. But when I do the horror, I try to do it in just a deeper voice. So the deeper voice and slower voice. He approached the Owl Eyes Motel, and it just I want to give that sense of like, here is the story, and you're getting creeped out just by the tone of my voice. So not it's not quite like that, but it's very close. And but then again, I have to do like different voices then too. So the contrast between that narrator voice and the character voices is quite broad, and I have fun doing that. And so if basically what I'll do is I'll record them and I'll give them to her, and then I'll ask for forgiveness later. Um, she also has a graphic novel coming out soon called Speed Bump, which is based off of a novella she wrote that is in the Owl Eyes world. And I want to do that one too. I want to read that audiobook as well. But then the one I really want to do is Revived. Is that what it's called? I think, yeah, Revived, which is a horror love story that she is so good at. And yeah, that's one too. I'm just gonna record it and say, hey, I love this book. I recorded it for you. Here you go. And I have a feeling she's probably gonna like, she was talking about the last after I gave her the first one. She said, well, next one we do, we're gonna like, do the revenue sharing on ACX. And I said, that's fine. So we'll set that up. I'm set up as a narrator on ACX if you want to reach out to me there. But again, what I'm planning on doing aside from those are like baked in people I know and stuff like that. What I want to do is, and this will probably be after the new year, is once a quarter, I'm going to do an audiobook for somebody else. And the first two I'm going to do for just no upfront cost. We'll do the revenue sharing, um, and then you'll have an audiobook, and hopefully you'll enjoy it and people will like it. And it's just nice to have that audiobook, because if you have that audiobook, then it feels like you've arrived, right? It's like nice, but man, they can be expensive. My friend Jody, who is the host of the Becoming a Household Name podcast, great author. He wrote those two books up there, Nine Lives of Marva DeLonghi and Eight Ball Magic of Susie Q. There's two more in the series he's got so far. He's working on the fifth. There's going to be nine. It's a countdown series, so 9, 8, 7, and so forth. But he fell in love with a narrator who he felt had to absolutely have had to do his books. And so he went and he dished out the money for that. And it was like, I think he charges $400 per produced hour. So that means that for every hour of his book, the final product, he pays $400. Prorate. It's like if it's like 10 and a half hours, it's going to be what, $4,200, something like that. But so that's a hefty bill to pay at that point. For me, when I'm doing an audiobook, it takes me at least, let's see, I think it takes me on average 3 hours to make a produced hour, because it's the reading through. It's not straight through. I do the punch and roll, and then I go back and listen to it again. So that's again an hour. And then if I need to do any updates or editing at that point, that is going to be a little fraction of an hour more. So it's like the first pass for recording that hour takes maybe an hour and a half. And then listening to it and fixing it is another hour and a half. So about 3 hours for a produced hour, 3 to 4 hours. So when someone is charging $400 per produced hour, that means that they're charging you $100 an hour basically to record your book, record and produce it, which feels like a lot, but for a one-time thing and for something that, people can't do a lot of because you'll wear out your voice. I mean, Scott Brick does a lot of audiobooks, but I'm wondering how that grinds on him. There's a lot of people who do a lot of talking all day long, though. I guess after a while you get used to it. I'm not quite. I do notice from time to time that my voice changes um, when I'm listening to stories that I recorded in the past. And also sometimes it's nasally if I'm like got a stuffed up nose or something, or it's like allergy season. So it really becomes kind of like a challenge. If I'm sick, I can't record it. Right. So if I'm sick, I lose the ability to record for at least a week because there's the period when I'm sick and then there's a period when I'm recovering. My voice is just kind of weird sounding. So I don't record during those periods. Okay. And we'll do that. So I've got a lot to do this year. Author's note. That's just more than one author. So I put the apostrophe after the S. And acknowledgements. Okay. And then the end credits and the retail sample. What did I do for this? So again, you can hear how fast I'm reading in this. I have to take this down just a tick in the tempo. Um, but it's good enough for now. So let's go ahead and submit this. Oh gosh, we're up at midnight already. All right. So I'll go ahead and pick this up on Sunday. What I'm going to do is I'm going to also do the recording of the little bits I want to fix for the anthology, and so we'll get those in place, and then we'll take that other book live, and then I'm going to send the audiobook to Ingram as well, because Ingram has other audiobook distribution. Because Amazon just sends it to Kindle, right? And I set it for non-exclusive, I believe. I hope I did. I'll find out. They'll either kick me off or they won't. All right, so there we go. Confirm chapter name. Sounds good. Why did it kick me back here? So normally numbers are hyphenated, but except when they're in titles. I found that out. I learned a lot about grammar writing because I look things like that up. I'm like, how should I do that? Continue to final review and submission here. All right, here we go. All right, so I'm not going to do the metadata with you guys right now. I'm going to call it a night. Oh my God, I did this whole podcast without sharing my screen with you guys. I'm an idiot. This is what I've been doing. I may just delete this one because it's just me talking. God. Oh my God, that is terrible. Okay. So yeah, I will definitely go through this with you tomorrow or Sunday night. Tomorrow night I'm out of town. But God, a whole hour of just me talking at you, pretending you can see what I'm doing. I've got to get better at this. There's a downside to doing this at midnight. All right, I'm gonna put this in the notes too. The title here. I'm gonna update that so that everyone knows what an idiot I am. All right, I gotta go to bed. All right. Yeah. So I'm gonna be out of town, but I'm gonna be like I said, Sunday night. I've got to do the audio recording for Leap. So that's my goal for that. So I'll take care of that. All right, and then I'll show you this again. Oh my God, I am just I'm so embarrassed. Well, hopefully you guys won't be watching this one. So, all right. Well, we'll see. Bye.